Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know how much we love to explore the more unusual corners of the animal world, right? Well, get ready because today we're going deep, deep into the fascinating world of the Chinese alligator.
Yeah, this one's really cool, and it's a creature a lot of people, even big-time animal fans, don't know that much about.
That's right. We had a listener write in specifically requesting this deep dive, and to be honest, I was pretty excited to learn more myself.
Me too. I mean, just the fact that there are only two alligator species on the entire planet, and this is one of them, that's got to spark anyone's curiosity.
Totally agree. So today, we're going to unpack what makes the Chinese alligator so special, why it's facing such an uphill battle for survival, and the amazing things people are doing to try and save it.
Sounds like a plan. But before we go full steam ahead, maybe we should start with the basics. Give everyone a mental picture of what we're dealing with here.
Absolutely. So, size-wise, how does the Chinese alligator stack up against its more famous American cousin?
Well, the Chinese alligator is honestly a bit of a lightweight in the alligator world. They only get to be about 1.5 to 2.1 meters long max.
Hmm, okay. So not exactly a gigantic, terrifying predator then.
No, not really. Imagine like the size of a large dog, maybe a bit bigger. But here's the thing.
Okay, there's got to be a butt coming.
There is. Don't let their size fool ya. These guys are tough. They've got this incredible armor-like skin covered in these bony plates called osteoderms.
Osteoderms. Those sound serious.
They are. They're like a built-in suit of armor protecting them from predators and helping them regulate their body temperature. Talk about an evolutionary advantage.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like a real-life dinosaur, in a way.
Exactly. And speaking of protection, you want to know where these little tanks like to hang out?
Lead the way. I'm all ears.
Okay, so picture this. They dig these incredibly elaborate burrows along riverbanks.
Wait, hold up. We're not talking about just some simple hole in the ground, are we?
Nope, not at all. These burrows are complex with multiple chambers. And get this, some even have underwater entrances.
Underwater entrances. That's insane. What's the advantage of such a fancy setup?
Well, think about it. These burrows offer protection from the scorching summer heat, provide a safe place to lay their eggs, and keep those pesky predators at bay. Plus, having an underwater escape route can't beat that.
True. Smart move, Chinese alligator. Okay, so we've got these armored burrowing alligators. What do they eat to fuel all that digging and hiding?
Well, they're actually pretty adaptable eaters. Their diet consists of fish, amphibians, crustaceans, insects, basically anything they can snack.
Wow, that's a pretty diverse menu.
It is. It shows how they've managed to thrive in environments that are constantly changing.
I gotta admit, even though you said they're on the smaller side, the word alligator always makes me think of danger. Should we be worried?
Nah, you can relax. Unlike some of their larger crocodile cousins, the Chinese alligator isn't considered dangerous to humans. They tend to be pretty reclusive and would rather avoid us altogether.
Phew, that's good to know. Okay, so they're not interested in humans as a snack, but what about finding a mate? What's their love life like?
Ugh. Things get interesting in the late spring and early summer. That's when the males start belting out these deep, guttural calls to attract the ladies.
Ooh, trying to serenade their way into a relationship.
Exactly. And if a female is impressed by the performance, she gets to work building a large, mound-shaped nest out of vegetation. It's quite a sight.
So the female does all the heavy lifting when it comes to setting up the nursery.
You got it. And she's got a lot of work ahead of her. She can lay up to 50 eggs in that nest. And here's the wild part. The temperature of the nest actually determines the sex of the hatchlings.
Wait, what? Seriously, you're telling me she can influence whether she has sons or daughters just by how she builds the nest?
Yep, it's incredible, right? Warmer nests tend to produce more males, while cooler nests result in more females. Scientists are still trying to wrap their heads around the evolutionary reasons behind it.
That is mind-blowing. Okay, so fast forward, the eggs hatch.
Hmm.
What happens next? Does mom just peace out?
Absolutely not. Mama alligator is a fiercely devoted parent. She helps her little ones break free from the nest and guards them with everything she's got.
Ah, that's actually really sweet. Talk about tough love.
Right. It's this incredible display of maternal instinct that you don't always associate with reptiles.
Which makes it even more heartbreaking that these amazing creatures are critically endangered.
Yeah, the situation is really dire.
What are the biggest threats they're facing?
Sadly, habitat loss is a huge one. As China's population keeps growing, more and more of their natural habitat is being converted for agriculture, development, all that stuff.
So basically, they're being squeezed out of their homes, and I'm guessing pollution isn't helping either.
You're right on the money. Pollution from industrial and agricultural runoff is contaminating their water sources, and that can weaken their immune systems and make them more susceptible to diseases.
That's like a double whammy.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned hunting as well, right?
Yeah, hunting for their skin and body parts, which were used in traditional medicine, really decimated their numbers in the past. It's a reminder that sometimes even cultural traditions can have a devastating impact on wildlife.
It's tragic. How many are estimated to be left in the wild? Do we even know?
The latest estimates are truly sobering, less than 200. To put that into perspective, that's fewer people than you'd find at a local school football game. It really hits home how close we are to losing these ancient creatures forever.
Wow, that's a scary thought. But I have to ask, is there anything being done to try and bring them back from the brink?
Yes, there are some incredible people fighting hard to save the Chinese alligator, and their efforts are giving us some hope.
Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more.
Well, for one, China has established several reserves specifically for these alligators, like the Anhui National Nature Reserve. These are protected areas that provide a safe haven from human encroachment.
That sounds promising.
Huh.
Are there any captive breeding programs going on?
Absolutely, and they've been remarkably successful. Thousands of Chinese alligators are now thriving in these programs. The big challenge, though, is getting them back into the wild.
I can imagine that's a huge undertaking. What makes it so difficult?
There are several hurdles. First off, we need to make sure there's suitable habitat for them to return to. Releasing them into an area without enough food or with too much competition just won't work. And then there's the issue of human-wildlife conflict. We need to find ways to minimize negative interactions between the alligators and the people who live nearby.
It sounds like it's not just about breeding them, but about ensuring they can actually survive and thrive in a world that's rapidly changing.
Exactly. It's a long-term commitment, and it takes a multifaceted approach.
So where do we go from here? What needs to happen to give the Chinese alligator a real fighting chance?
Education and law enforcement are absolutely crucial. Teaching people about the alligator's ecological importance and why we need to protect them is key. At the same time, we need to make sure anti-poaching laws are enforced to prevent illegal hunting.
It makes sense. When people understand the value of something, they're more likely to protect it.
Exactly. And it's not just about the Chinese alligator itself. This situation shines a light on something much bigger,
What do you mean?
It shows how interconnected our world really is. The loss of even a small, seemingly insignificant creature like the Chinese alligator can have ripple effects throughout the entire ecosystem.
It's like a chain reaction.
Right. Protecting biodiversity isn't just about saving individual species, it's about maintaining the balance of life on Earth.
It's a powerful message. And for you listening, we want to leave you with this question. If you could design the perfect habitat to reintroduce Chinese alligators, what would it look like? What kind of challenges might you face, and how would you overcome them?
It's a thought-provoking challenge. It makes you really think about the complexities of conservation.
Definitely. But even though the situation is serious, it's not hopeless. There's still time to turn things around.
I agree. With dedicated effort and global awareness, we can help this ancient species reclaim its place in the wild.
And on that hopeful note, we'll wrap things up for today.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.
See ya.